the show the mastermind behind Stalemates. You may know Stalemates. I know Stalemates. Stalemates is awesome. And he has his Street League 2 coming up near the end of the month. Zach, thanks for joining me, man. How are you doing?
Yeah, thanks for having me. Sorry we had to reschedule a couple times, but we made it.
Yeah, it is what it is. These kind of things happen when you're doing talks and stuff like that. It is what it is, though. So, man, I discovered you when y'all were doing the Flow versus Willie trials, and you parlayed that into your own wrestling promotion. What the hell?
Yeah, well, it was not like I was trying to do that. It was
Right.
just kind of, I just want to continuously do what's like most entertaining for us at the time, and not just put out content to just put out content. And so I felt like there was a moment for a little bit where there really wasn't a lot going on. So I was like, well, the wrestling season's kind of far away. Let's like throw our first event. And that was in the form of Street League, which was originally not going to be what it ended up being. But the way
What was it originally?
did you ever watch like Street Beefs on YouTube?
Yeah.
You ever watch those fights? So
Yeah.
like I thought that would be funny to like have like two guys that are, not even necessarily two guys that are into it, just maybe two different walks of life. Like if I was literally gonna roll like a mat out in my backyard and just turn the camera on and have them go. But then I was like, well, if we do that, we gotta have insurance. So I'm like, that's kind of a hurdle. So we're like, all right, well, if we get insurance, we should do more than just one match. It's pointless to get insurance for one match. And then I was
Right.
like, well, if we get one match, or if we get more than one match, then we should have fans there. If we have fans there, we got to get a venue. So it just kind of kept going and going, and then it ended up kind of being kind of more of like our own like little card. And then we used that for the Patreon, and I liked the way it went. So I was like, let's do it again.
And I watched some highlights. I didn't get to catch the first one live, but I watched some highlights and stuff. It was super fun. Like the venue you picked was really cool because it wasn't like giant. It was very, very close, very, very personal, but it was packed.
Yeah.
What was
Oh,
the
yeah.
what was the vibe like for you as someone who put on an event for the first time, kind of just starting out? What was it like packing your first event like that and having everybody go nuts like they did?
It was cool. I'm first and foremost, I'm a wrestling fan, and so I've been in wrestling venues all over the country. I've been to like Division I conference tournaments that there's really not a lot of people there. I mean, there is, but it was a huge venue and they was just kind of empty, And then I've been to
Right.
venues like West Gym and Cedar Falls, where it's kind of smaller but just super intimate. And I know what creates a good environment. And those unless you have 15,000 fans like Division I Nationals or like Iowa Duel or something like that, you want a smaller venue to kind of put the fans right on top of the action. And so just being there and knowing we picked the right venue felt good, but it was also like super nerve-wracking because you can drink at our events. And so if you have a bunch of wrestling fans kind of elbow to elbow right on the mat and they're drinking and yeah, like part of the whole thing is like getting rowdy, and it's called Street League. You want people to be excited, but at the same time, like we ended up like doubling the amount of security that we had just to help my anxiety of like making sure nothing stupid happened. But nothing stupid happened for this one, knock on wood. Probably won't be the same if we keep doing it, but I don't know, it just felt good to have everybody I feel like everybody kind of walked away like, man, that was something special. So at least from my eyes, that's what it felt like.
So tell me about Street League 2. You said you got some MMA fighters, you got some wrestling, you got some friends of mine.
Yeah.
What you got going on with Street League 2? How did this come about?
So, we wanted to keep it going. We had to get it done before wrestling season starts because a lot of the guys that compete in these things, they kind of help coach or they're rolling around a little bit. Some of them come off the couch, but most of the time it's like, assistant coaches and stuff like that. So we wanted to get it done before we had it going. And then I thought about the last card, and I don't know how much you pay attention to the lineup, but we had kind of like, I don't want to say amateur bouts, but like guys that have kind of hung it up, guys that wrestle in college, but roll around here and there, but don't really compete anymore. And then we had guys at the end that were like professional bouts, like Kyvan's still training for a living,
Yeah.
And then, you know, we have like Ian Parker, who's still like, you know, top 10 guy in the country, Division One. And so everybody that came up to me after the card, they appreciated that kind of wrestling, but I just don't think that they were there for those like professional bouts. They were there because they wanted to see their friend go out and, you know, put on a show, like just see what was going to happen. So everybody that's coming up to me is like, you know, oh man, that Mikey England match is cool. Or, you know, Jonathan Dennis with the mullet walking out with the chain, like that was sick. That was what we wanted. So then when we said we're doing the second card, we're like, we're going all in on those kind of guys. And it's nothing against the other guys.
Right.
I think, you know, we'll still do bigger matches like that from time to time, but we're just kind of testing ourselves and seeing, you know, what do people want to see. So the main event, we have a TikToker, Jarrett Stodd. I kind of threw him to the wolves a little bit. I made him look like he's never wrestled before, and he's only doing TikTok dances in his freaking kitchen. The guy's actually really good. The guy actually wrestled. The guy actually wrestled for like 12 years growing up in a solid club here in Iowa, one of the bigger clubs when I was growing up. Actually, I didn't know him from back then, but anyways, he wrestled for like 12 years, and he was good. And he's wrestling an MMA fighter who you might know, Ian Butler. He wrestled. He fought in Bellator. He was actually just supposed to do Submission Underground with Carlos Condit before he retired. I got to move inside real quick. It's raining on me, man. They don't want us to do this interview together. They don't want us to. Now the gods are against us. Hold on.
So let me ask you this now. Somebody comes to you. His name is Logan Paul. He's like, hey, I want to do Street League. Are you having, because Logan wrestled. I've seen video of Logan. He's wrestled in high school and stuff. Are you having Logan Paul on your show, as controversial as he is?
100%, man. I don't think, I mean, if we're willing to have Pat Downey on the first one, I think we can have a Paul brother.
That's a story we got to get at another time, because that'll take forever. Jesus, that was crazy. He stood you up, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, it was all part of the Pat Downey experience. So, I mean, I've got no ill will towards him. It's just,
right.
It sucks that it happened. But it's also one of those things, if you have someone on your card that's like known to have controversial stuff happen, something controversial happens to you, you're kind of an idiot if you're like playing the poor me card. So it is what it is. But Logan Paul, yeah, I think wrestling fans are kind of stupid sometimes when we're so anti Logan Paul. It's like, okay, it's like, no, don't give us exposure to the millions of people that he has that follow him. Like that guy has a legitimate fan, like he's got a legitimate audience. So why would you ever, and then those same people want to go and like complain when wrestling's, you know, only on Flow because we don't have exposure to these mainstream media outlets. It's like, I get it, but at the same time, you got to go out there and you got to do stuff that's fresh, do stuff that's new, you know, and if it's in the form of having a Paul brother wrestle, absolutely, I'd have him on. If
you have Logan Paul, that makes me really good at 7 degrees of Floyd Mayweather, that's for sure.
Yeah. Why is that?
Me, you, Logan, Floyd. That'd be great. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. See, everybody wins, man. But I don't know.
Yes, indeed.
I think Jake Paul said he was supposed to wrestle Ben Askren after their boxing match, and it was going to be, I'm assuming, probably on Flow or something. But I don't think that would make a lot of sense. I would still do it, but I would like strongly try to encourage him not to wrestle Ben Askren. I'd say like, we would, you know, pair him up with somebody that would make him look a lot better. But
let's pair you up with Jordan Burroughs instead.
Yeah, I think a lot of people too like don't realize like in wrestling, it's not about just like, or I think in combat sports in general, it's not about like the level of talent. Like you can take 2 lower level of talent people and have them wrestle, and it's just as exciting as like you know, the stakes are a lot lower, but the actual match, the context of the match is still exciting.
Yeah, that comes with, I think, being a fan of just the sport in general and not being a fan of like, you know, like Conor McGregor has his fans and Floyd Mayweather has his fans. They're Conor McGregor fans, Floyd Mayweather fans. They're not, hey, are you there? I can't hear you.
No, I'm here.
I think I'm being hacked. I think I'm being hacked. Oh, no.
There we go.
Who is it?
Let's see.
It is. Mr. Rosen is here.
Principal Bogle, nice to see you on this Sunday morning.
Good morning.
I'm here to inform you that I am dissatisfied with the way that you handle discipline at Stalemates High School.
Yeah, which guy?
You let students like Mike Whitmer get away with everything. I mean, have you seen what he did with the egg and the apple cider vinegar at lunch? That's unacceptable behavior.
we are an alternative school, so we'll figure it out with them. We'll definitely have a chat with Mr. Whitmer about that. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry you had to go through that.
I'm sure this chat you're having with him is just gonna end with a warning, little
Probably
slap
yes.
on the wrist.
Or verbal abuse.
Not anymore, pal. I have assumed full control of the disciplinary procedures at Stalemates High School, effective immediately, with permission from the board.
Are you worried about how Mike's gonna handle it though? Like, he could be. He seems a little bit off the rails lately. You think he's gonna react the way you want him to?
See, here's the thing, Principal Bogle. I take my job as an educator very seriously. I try my best to reach these kids every single day. Every day I ask myself, how do I reach these kids? How do I reach these kids? You have some kids, like Mike Wigmer, who don't want to be reached. What do I do when I can't reach them? I fail them, and if it doesn't work, then I expel them.
Okay, all right.
Maybe I'll just
let you be the principal then. I'm just gonna do that.
I think that's a perfect ending to this show. Street League 2, Friday, October 29th. Gold Rosen is going to be on the show, laying down the law. Bogle, where can everybody find you and your social media? Where can everybody catch Street League 2?
Street League 2, patreon.com/stalemates. You just have to be a member, $3.99, just like if you were going to watch, like last night, they had the Fury Wilder fight on ESPN Plus. So it's the same thing. You just got to subscribe to our Patreon for $3.99. You can also still buy tickets if you want to come and support Zach. And then we Stalemates Show on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. So check us out. Thanks for having me on, too. Thank you for having me.
It's all my pleasure, bro. I enjoyed it. Zach, one last promo. What you got?
October 29th, Des Moines, Iowa. Stalemates Street League 2. Mike Whitmer's going to wish he took an easier class.
I'm there. I can't wait for that. I'm super excited for that. Thank you for coming out, too, Zach. That was awesome.
Oh, man. All right, guys. I've got to go to work. They called me in again. I'm going to catch y'all later. I'll have this up probably Monday or Tuesday. We'll do that. And I'm going to clip this little promo section here. Y'all going to love it.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Blaine. And I appreciate you working with me.